this video, I'd like to show you the strategy I've been using to teach Frosty not to bark at delivery drivers, mailmen, people walking past the house, or any other random sound. He gets triggered really easily by sounds outside close to the house, and this week one of our neighbors was moving, so there's been pretty much a lot of sound outside every single day. He's been losing his mind barking about 6 to 10 times a day, which is just not okay because both my roommate and I work from home in jobs that require a very high level of quiet and concentration. First off, I want to say what hasn't worked to control his behavior. Yelling at him to stop or punishing him is what I tried for the first couple of months, and it was highly ineffective. I've also tried ignoring him, but if I just leave him alone and don't do anything, he will straight up bark for 15 to 20 minutes before he calms down. So the strategy that I found is that I immediately tell him to go to his bed once he starts barking, but here's the catch: I make sure it's not treated like a punishment at all. I say it in a happy voice, and as soon as he gets to his bed, I immediately start praising him. I grab a really high value treat that he's really excited about and I hold it up so that he'll look at me and pay attention to me, and then I will wait for a couple of seconds and give it to him, and then I repeat this kind of 2 to 3 times until he seems really calm and is not paying attention to the sound anymore. Another big thing is that I make sure to never close the gate on this crate to lock him in there when we're doing this or any other time. He's never been locked in this crate before, and I think that's really important as well. Not treating it as a punishment made a huge difference because when I tried this strategy at first, I had a very different attitude. I would kind of, shout at him kind of angrily and tell him to go to his bed, which was in the laundry room, and he wouldn't listen, and so I'd have to grab him and drag him in there, and then I would shut him in there for about 10 minutes. So it was just, overall a very negative experience for both of us. He never went willingly. It never made things better. He was just as reactive. And then afterwards, once I did let him out, he'd kind of be on edge for a while. However, the way that I do it now, he actually has never refused to go to his bed because there's nothing negative about the experience. He knows he's not getting locked up. He knows he's going to get the treats. And so even though he's upset and barking, if I tell him to go to his bed, I might have to kind of, corner him a little bit or point him or direct him in that direction. But once he kind of realizes, oh, yeah, I'm going to get some treats, he'll go to his bed and just kind of stay there. This has become a really great routine for him. He will usually stay in his crate for a couple of minutes afterwards, which is awesome, especially if it's a delivery and I have to go to the door. He'll just sit in his crate while I go to the door. And my long-term goal is that eventually he'll start to go into the crate on his own. Whenever he gets stressed or starts to bark at something or, is upset by a noise, I hope that he'll just go to the crate automatically. So I'm doing this really, really regularly every single time that he barks or gets upset. This is the process that we do, which is very time consuming, but like I said, if I could eventually get him to go into the crate on his own and kind of settle himself down, that is the ultimate goal. I've also noticed that it takes him longer to actually start barking to the triggers in the first place. I don't know if that's as a result of this training or if it's just because he's settling in and getting used to some of the sounds. But he does have kind of a tell right before he starts barking. He starts to pant and breathe really heavily. So if I can act quickly enough, I can use kind of similar strategies to prevent him from barking at all. If he starts doing that heavy breathing, I'll call him over to me. I'll have him do a really simple trick like sit or lay or something, and then just praise him and offer him a treat. If I can actually get his attention before he starts barking, this pretty much works every single time. This all seems really simple when I explain it now, but it actually took me several months to start understanding that he's just a very sensitive to emotion kind of dog. So now that I've stopped punishing him and instead am just redirecting his attention and then praising him for doing something good, I'm really seeing him do the unwanted behaviors less and then also recover a lot more quickly afterwards. So it's been a really exciting discovery.